Hello. Today we are taking a look at the recently published collected poems of J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christina Scull and Wayne G. Hammond. When it comes to the yearly releases and re-releases, new editions, different covers and so on, I'm reminded of the first chapter of The Lord of the Rings, where a hobbit practice is mentioned, consisting of, as Tolkien writes, filling up the corners, when the hobbits casually continue eating and filling their bellies after the meal is complete. And I feel the new Tolkien publications are mostly doing just that, finding the gaps and filling a small corner here and there. But this box set feels like a full meal again. There is a lot of already published poetry inside, but a whole lot unpublished as well, often including multiple drafts of the same poem along with detailed commentary. And as much as these are books of Tolkien's poetry, the commentary provided makes them books about Tolkien's poetry as well, if that makes sense. The circumstances behind the poems, their changes over the years, every amendment, big or small, is included. The only thing the editors have understandably excluded are parts of certain longer poems, such as The Fall of Arthur, for example, which they have included as selected sections meant to represent the whole. I don't mind this approach, and it would be insane to expect 50 or 100 pages dedicated to a single poem in an already comprehensive collection, especially if the poem's already been published separately, as is the case with The Fall of Arthur and a number of others. The official count of poems is almost 250, including more than 70 previously unpublished ones, but including all the variants, the count seems to come up way over 500. Honestly, I wouldn't mind this collection if it contained nothing but the final version of each poem, with only the basic commentary like a standard book of poetry. It could probably fit into one larger volume, but this level of effort is more than welcome, and I'm not complaining. All three volumes start with a double-sided glossy page containing photographs of original manuscripts, and there is also one before the first presented poem. That one is printed in black and white on regular paper. At the end of the third volume, you can also find multiple appendices containing limericks, Latin adages, and other curiosities, as well as a long glossary of words and names, and a useful index of references. Throughout the book, you may find poems you are familiar with, such as the songs from The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings, but the notes provide a much deeper understanding of Tolkien's poetry and its development. A lot of people reading his books often complained about the intrusive bursts of poetry, halting the narrative, so reading his poems in such a comprehensive way seems like the opposite approach from the misguided readers who skip the poems while rushing to the action, which is a real shame, for Tolkien regarded himself chiefly as a poet. Like his biographer Humphrey Carpenter wrote in The Inklings, and I would say poetry is inseparable from his approach to prose and the careful rhythm of language, as well as making a huge part in his storytelling and mythology. The books are contained in a slipcase bearing the designs of Tolkien's own Tree of Amalion, often used for covers of his books, and most likely connected with the Tree of Tales in the essay on fairy stories and Niggle's tree in Leaf by Niggle. Some of his drawings of this tree can be found here in the Pictures by J.R.R. Tolkien art book. The books are sized in line with the standard HarperCollins hardcovers, but do not include dust jackets, and fortunately the binding is sewn and much easier to open than most of the previous hardcovers. The paper is on the thinner side and not the most luxurious, and the print quality is inconsistent and sometimes looks a bit more faded, so do not expect some deluxe treatment here. But honestly, I am still very pleased with it. When this much love and effort has been put into books, both from J.R.R. Tolkien and this amazing editing team, I can look past any imperfection. Well, that would be all for now. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Hold on. What's this? The video is not yet over. I suppose we can read a few of the poems while we wait for it to end.
The sparrows in the morning cold washed their little selves in gloom. Blink, though not very old, every puffy little plume. Blink in the winter's hold, dressings most uncommon cold. The sparrows just outside my room, blink, blink to the sun. Chirp till winter evens gloom. Days are very quickly done. Blink, we have but begun. Day when night is sudden come. Then blink, blink, what do you think? It hardly pays these dreary days, getting up to eat and drink. Stop in bed and snooze instead. Blink, blink, what do you think?
O filth-spattered fools with your foul fumes, riding on a racket of rackety iron, dead drunk with dust, driven by desire. Of insensate speed you spew your stink, from nowhere to nowhere, through nothing worth seeing, out of hell to Hades, or to holes more hideous, din by day and death of night rest, blasting and battering, banging and blowing, like hooting hobgoblins on harsh horns. Honk, cronk, says one, karak, barak the other. Bap, bap, you vomit, you belch and backfire. You grind and grumble from garage to garage, jolt and jar and gibber and jangle, cutting off corners with a lust to kill, strewing the streets with the innocent dying, dressed the demons in an indigestive dream, goggled like god-forsaken ghouls or gorgons, affecting a pose of impossible heathens. Crank, harek, poof, harek, poof, harek, honk. Bap, bap, harek, garek, puff, bap, buff, bap, bubble, rubber, bub, bang, bang. By pistons and pumps and petrol substitutes, valve, crank, control, and the whole cursed contrivance, blast you all for bloody nuisances. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.